Which inventor would be most confused at how their invention is being used nowadays? The guy who sold the patent on insulin for $1 so he could help mankind. He would fall over dead to see giant corporations charging diabetics thousands of dollars a month for his invention just to keep themselves from dying. So sad how large companies bank off of other people's kindness. The fellow who invented the chainsaw. Originally it was invented to cut through women's pelvic bones in order to assist with very difficult deliveries. Oh, and the chain was hand-cranked. You want the C-section or the seesaw? Oh, a seesaw sounds like fun. Let's do that. Excuse me? The guy who invented Listerine. It was created as a brand of floor cleaner and now we use it to clean our teeth. The fuck? Or Lysol. Originally created as a douche and now we use it to clean our floors. Maybe the guy who invented heroin for beer in Germany. When they began selling it they advertised it as a non-addictive substitute drug for opium and thought they had erased most of the problems that came with other common opioids at the time. Would be pretty surprising to him seeing homeless guys in today's times injecting it at creepy train stations. Did they do literally zero testing before they began selling it? Yeah, they didn't want to get addicted. Whoever invented Q-tips is probably like asterisk asterisk. I said not in your fucking ear asterisk asterisk. Feels so good though. Not there, either. Truth be told he invented them for that exact reason. He thought it was more dangerous for his wife to be using a toothpick with cotton on the end to clean their baby's ears. I'm sure down the line liability and lawsuits made it necessary to print a warning on the packaging. Mr. Hitachi is probably rolling over in his grave because of the way people everywhere misuse his greatest invention, the magic wand. The inventor of the circular biscuit tin. Don't think he planned for grandmas to use it so much for sewing that it surprises you to find biscuits in the first place. At least people aren't using it for sex. This was a constant source of disappointment when I was a kid. Oh wow, someone left out a tub of butter cookies. I can't eat away the sadness. No wait, it's just mom's sewing stuff. I can poke myself with the needles though, that helps a little. The folks who developed the internet probably never expected they would be enabling global echo chambers where people surround themselves with those who have identical opinions until they begin to believe anyone who disagrees is a dangerous lunatic. And all the porn. Don't forget the porn. Chat rooms were among the first commercialized features of the internet. And Yahoo dedicated entire rooms to nothing but flirting and cybersex. Lol. Whoever invented LEDs could never have imagined that we could make them so small as to replace and improve on televisions to the point of UHD. Better yet, the guy who invented the transistor. They're getting so small to the point that the electrons are starting to quantum tunnel through them. John Harvey Kellogg discovering that cornflakes did not lead to a world free of deviant activities, such as masturbation and casual sex, in that people preferred their cornflakes with sugar and chocolate and shit. I don't think I've ever tried cornflakes with shit in it before. The guy who invented the escalator was so upset after seeing it used that he cried and wanted them removed. He was upset people would get on and stand still when they were supposed to keep walking. He'd made the world a bit more lazy than he intended. It's amazing how much architecture has to be designed around human laziness. Apparently, there's a rule of thumb that limits the length of a straight hallway, wing of a mall. Because if you don't add turns or curves to disguise the distance, people won't feel like walking that far and they'll just leave. That's one of those little factoids where I didn't know that, but I am not at all surprised. Wasn't Viagra supposed to be a heart medication? Imagine it being your greatest achievement as a scientist. No, I bet he'd get a rise out of it. That's a rock-solid achievement in my books. Right, brothers? Pretty sure they didn't intend the airplane to carry a nuclear bomb that could wipe out a nation. Sir John Harrington, you're supposed to sit on it the other way, and put your reading material on the little shelf. Why do you think I designed toilet rooms with a laundry hole? It's a shelf for your chocolate milk and comic books. The inventors of handcuffs, whips, and restraining equipment. Upset that they're now used by cops, jockeys, and the mentally unstable. Greater than mentally unstable, you said cops already. The guy who invented the lie detector. He said he was horrified on how it's used by police and it's a glorified piece of junk. I think he might have even said he made the world worse. Legally, polygraph tests are not required for criminal cases and can't be used as real evidence in a trial. A defendant can request to have a test, but it's not valid proof of innocent or guilty, because it's not accurate. I heard that Philo Farnsworth only wanted the TV to be used for educational purposes. Cheeky futuruma name picking at its finest. Johann Voller, inventor of the paperclip. Pretty sure he would be pretty confused that bored people sit and make chains of them for no reason. I made chainmail out of paper clips once. It was heavier than I thought it would be. How big were the paper clips? I can't imagine the larger ones providing much protection, particularly against arrows. They were smaller ones, about 3/4 inch long. I did it mostly because I could, and not so much for protection. Well, when a war breaks out in the office, you're the person I'm coming to for armor. Alan Turing, whose invention led to the computer and now has provided cat videos to all of humanity. We have all the information known to man at the end of our fingertips, and we've created cat videos. Karens in a format for bullying anonymously. Cat videos and naked women. The internet in a nutshell. Definitely the guy who made the laser. We can use this to pinpoint an exact location in surgery. We can scan objects and detect metal. Haha, my cat loves it. Quote. The original inventor of Coca-Cola is it was originally medicine prescribed by doctors. And now you can buy it anywhere and people drink it for fun. Same goes for the inventor of biscuits, as they were medicine too. I like to think he would be mad we don't still put cocaine in it. I'm mad about it. They called it Coca-Cola. Bekwase coca is the plant that cocaine is made from, monsieur, and they put that shit in Coca-Cola. I think they would be surprised that the corporation found out that sugar was addictive enough as it is, and they didn't need to use coca to get people hooked. I guess the inventor of the wheel would be pretty weirded out by the wealth of uses we got out of that invention. Would he? I mean, a wheel is always a wheel. He'd probably just be surprised by how we power it. Yes, but we also use extremely large wheels and extremely small wheels for very interesting purposes. Think wind turbine and certain types of microfluidic mixers, respectively. AC electricity and Nikola Tesla. Dude wanted it to be free for everybody. I saw a video of a guy who had tied a piece of sausage to a drill and was using it to swipe on Tinder. IDK. Who would be more confused, the guy who invented sausage, Arthur James Arnott, the drill, or Alexander Graham Bell, the telephone? Edit. I was thinking of this all day yesterday and it was blowing my mind. Dynamite. Alfred Nobel. He thought they will use it for industrial purposes and never to blow up other people. He was not naive to think it was not possible, but he was too optimistic with human nature. Dynamite was never a particularly useful military explosive. It is far too shock-sensitive to be loaded into artillery shells and has a quite short shelf life. 1 year or so from date of manufacture. Under ideal conditions, it wasn't really used in combat aside from doing combat engineering tasks. It couldn't be. Nobel's reputation as an arms manufacturer came from the fact that he purchased the Bofors Steel and Iron Works and converted it into a successful arms manufacturing company. He wouldn't be at all surprised with where his inventions went. Thomas Midgley Jr. So, how are my award-winning discoveries, CFC and tetraethyl gasoline, being used today? Quote, they aren't. Your inventions are pretty much the only chemicals that the entire world has universally agreed to ban. Take that for what it's worth. I hope Philo T. Farnsworth, inventor of the TV, would enjoy how fantastical video games are and how much joy they bring people to shreds, you say. Hashtag GOODNEWSEVRYONE. I thought the inventor of the TV was John Logie Baird? That's a really good point. Baird invented the mechanical TV, and Farnsworth invented the electronic TV. I should have specified electronic TV. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know what silicon is and whether it's invented or discovered, but I doubt the guy responsible thought someday they're gonna make fake pussies out of these and fuck and more fake feed and suck. Monsieur. Asterisk silicon is an element, a type of atom. Asterisk silicone is a class of polymer material. Long molecules of alternating oxygen and silicon atoms, used to make rubbers and lubricants. Silicon is the backbone of all modern electronics. Silicone was originally invented as a high-temperature insulator for motors, but its main use ended up being as a filler for breast implants from the 60s onwards. It wasn't long before people realized just how flexible it was. The guy who made petroleum jelly ate a spoonful of it every day, so I'ma go with him. Probably ancient Greeks. Democracy has become a popularity contest where stupid and illiterate people decide the leader of a country. Greater than illiterate, well, at least they're literate. Even if OC is not. They actually predicted this. It was a concern for them, monsieur. It's called demagoguery. Well, they used it to describe instances at the time. So less predicted and more simply the downside of democracy. I mean, they would also be confused at why women got to vote. Why people who do not own land get to vote, etc. Why people who are not born into the polity get to vote. I don't think confused is the right word. Although she would probably not fully understand the science behind the product. But the person who invented the cell phone probably had zero clue they'd eventually transform into mini computers. She would probably just be extremely overwhelmed experiencing smartphone for the first time. The person that invented the cell phone, Martin Cooper, is still alive. If you Google Cooper's Law, you'll see why I doubt that he's overwhelmed by where his invention has gone. Apparently there are two Cooper's Laws. One relates to taxi drivers. The second to cell phones. I was confused for a hot minute. Tissue paper. Tim Berners-Lee and his World Wide Web. In fact, he's supporting the developing of a decentralized network because of this. It already is decentralized, just nobody uses it that way because it's less convenient. I think George Washington Carver would probably be pretty surprised that peanut butter was used to make Mr. Ed's lips move to make it look like the horse was talking for a TV show. And also that some weirdos put it on their genitals to make dogs lick it off. God, looking at everyone on earth doing what we do. Fuck. Calls Satan. Lol, you were right, monsieur. Yeah, I know. Haha, I'm finna Venmo you the $50 right now. Nah. God didn't Venmo Satan money. He left to make 2020. Graham Bell. Telephone. Suppose ta talking to you bag, not just sit there staring at it? Quote. Karl Marx. Intended to get the Russian serfdom out from under the Romanov industrial monopoly. Now used by white Americans who torrented movies and music for 20 years to diagnose their total lack of utopia. Marx was broke. I'm pretty sure he just wanted people to buy him beers. He wasn't broke, he lived quite comfortably. But he intentionally didn't get a job and lived off of money provided by his friend's rich dad, who was one of the wealthy industrialists who Marx wished death upon. Communism and sugar daddies come in pairs. You sound like you know a lot about communists, monsieur. I think Kellogg would roll over in his grave if he saw how people still masturbate regardless of whether they are cereal. People are cereal? Whoa dude. Isn't that cannibalism? I still can't believe the thought process he must have had to get there. Those two things have fucking nothing to do with each other. The year is 1946. It's just after the war. You just travel back in time and you meet Alan Turing. Oh hey, you're considered the father of the computer. You mean they remember my achievements during the war? Quote. Oh yeah? The computer is the most important thing in my age. My word. What do they use it for? Quote, everything. Communication devices, calculation, writing, playing games, driving trains and cars, pornography, design, organizing. I'm sorry, what was that last one? Quote, organizing things? Quote, no, pornography. Yeah, we have this communication network called the internet, like a phone network for computers. And alongside business, communication and stuff, we use it for porn. All sorts of porn, from the conventional to the weird, to the soft to the hard. Here, this is a porn site called Hemeros that does high-class gay porn. Oh my, I can't imagine how he'd react to a gay porn site. How would one cope with being chemically castrated for their sexuality, and then witnessing thousands of videos of men engaging in homosexual sex? I'm sad now. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.